for you.
Oh,
Marissa, can you catch me up on colors and all of that, please, and thank you?
yeah. So I would like you to make your black. Um, Make a big batch. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna mix 50-50. 50-50 in terms of formula. Once you make your black, acrylic painters add some gel. So you can double the amount. Split that and then add cadmium yellow, medium or dark, doesn't matter, but I think medium is where we're going, so you can have a green.
Whoops.
If you could just leave it there. These are just colors on standby, but we'll try to focus on the black and the green first. And we'll wait for the rest to come in. Just do a big swatch there. So that's my ultramarine blue, little burnt sienna. And we can begin. Wow. Okay, so I made a big batch of black here. I want to make it a little bluer, so I'm gonna add more ultramarine blue. Just to give it that blue shade. A little bit blue. And then once I have that, then I might need I'll add a little gel to that for acrylic painters. For oil painters, you know, it's not gonna dry on you, so you should be fine. But I like to add a little bit more gel just to make it a little thicker. And then it won't dry too, because we're gonna use this to make our trees. There's lots of foliage at the back. Even though we're simplifying, we wanna show that there's lots going on in the forest. So I'm using a wet palette. This is a acrylic wet palette. You can use this for oil too, because you can put the whole thing in the freezer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't use a wet palette for the oils, but I just use it on I just have this foam core that I put my palette paper on.
Sure.
And then I just put saran wrap on top and put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's perfect. Yeah. I'm not as I think you can do that for acrylics too. But not too long, not as long as oil. Oil can be there forever because it's not gonna evaporate. But acrylic evaporates, so it will dry eventually. This is still really from last week. Very, very dark stage. So what I'd like to do first is we need to get some chalk. So I have just a chalk here, just a regular white chalk. If you have a pastel pencil, you could get that too. I just wanna block in where that branch is coming through. It just gives me an idea. You look at your image where that big branch sweeps across. So I wanna draw it in, and then that'll just give me a little bit of a guide as to where all the other foliages will come in. So just draw in where you think it might need it. This big branch here swoops and then it divides. It allows you to put the trees at the back there, so it's a broken branch. I moved this right closer. I don't know if you've done the same thing. And then there are maples coming down. Pine, no, I don't know what tree. Just a fir. So there's a lot of things going on. I think the one on the top, I think this one here is what they call, it's not a maple. Do you know what tree that is? And then down here, there's big batches here of that orange, yellow, green stuff, you know? And then same here. So let's just mark it as to where you think it might have to happen. It just gives you a general idea of where we're gonna put it. So now for, because oil, hopefully your oil is still dry, you could do that and do the chalk, unless you were painting this morning. And just give me sometimes I get lost, so this just helps us find things so we know where to go. That gives me a general idea where we need to go with that. And then I'm just gonna put in some retarder to my palette. And for oil painters, you can use mineral spirit just so that we can block in our line with black. So I'm just gonna grab some black, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna already seal the deal here. So I usually start with a thin line because you can always modify and make it thicker later. This one, things are coming up, things are pushing down, so we'll just have to just go with the flow here. You see that? Okay. Oops, oopsie daisy. Alright. There's also like branches coming in from the top going down, so you can just invent that later on. This is so thick. You can intensify this line later on. Right now we're still in the exploration stage. This is all creation stage, scary stage. Yeah. You can change your mind later. Okay, I want to put some down here. And that can be eliminated as things go, but for now let's just put it there. My process is pretty much you put it down but don't get so attached to it because it may not be there later on. I adjusted my tree line. I don't know if you remember that. It went all the way down last week, and I go, I think that's not where it should be. I'm just darkening some areas here. Don't have to do that. It's just me waiting for you. I'll wait for you to come and just make sure you get some of the branches. This one can be thicker. There. And this main branch can be thicker. So over there. This is thin. I can even make that thinner later on, but right now I'm just... Okay. They look so equal again. Don't do that. See how they are so spaced out equally? Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, let's get some green. And let's just put that kind of sort of here. And brush stroke is just up and down. And just pressing in and not blending. And it's just a downward stroke. I don't know if you saw that. Sometimes I have to exaggerate here. Try to. There's some greenery down here. Just it's all sort of just dabs. There's a downward stroke. Just here. We're just giving the impression that there's foliage there. Same here. Just look at those little baby trees happening. You don't have to be so perfect. Just apply where you think it would be. Just brush is medium brush. It's 1/2 angle. Quite affordable. Very cheap. Just putting in some greens. Bigger strokes in here. Just bigger strokes there. We can divide that later on. Going along. At this point, it doesn't really matter how perfect you are. There's no. You don't want to be perfect anyway. Well, you can be, but for you want to show some irregularity and some variety and foliage. So that's what we're aiming to do here. Just play from this side. So maybe if you want, you can bring in that branch that is sort of coming down and hitting very thin, coming from the left. I wouldn't go with your line all the way to the edge of the canvas. Do not start here. Start a little bit, about an inch into it. That whole line comes from, because you don't want the eye to be drawn to the edge of your painting. You want your viewer to always stay within your painting. So I'm just gonna put this one in here and see how that goes. It branches out to smaller twigs, smaller branches. You can just keep playing with that. I'm still using my 1/2 brush. It is an angle, so I can get really nice lines. And again, don't get so attached to that because you might change your mind change it up a little bit later on. Just give you an indication here where that is coming from. Yeah, so I think we should make our orange now, guys. So if you have your cadmium yellow and cadmium red, you can mix those two and put it oh, no. Can I? Yeah, okay. All right. I want to change my mind. So, okay, cadmium yellow and cadmium red. So, let's just go in here. So I have cadmium yellow medium hue. I'll just put that here. Yeah, I can make a nice batch. I wouldn't put too much red. So in terms of proportion, I would say 75% maybe of the yellow, and then maybe just 25% of the red. The red is very staining and very powerful. So I want it to be a little bit more on the lighter side. So just not too much of the red. This is probably still deep. But it's okay, we can have that there. So after you mix that, I would yeah, you gotta use your knife to mix, guys, okay? Because if you use your brush, you're just gonna lose a lot of color into the bristles, and you're not gonna use up all your paint, so you're wasting paint. Okay, so I think I'm gonna split that, push it here, and then add more yellow. So I have at least a good batch here of the dark orange, and then I'll add here more yellow. So percentage wise, maybe 50-50, just to lighten. I'm gonna put that elsewhere so you can see the actual color. This is all a muck. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll put that. Pick that up and I'll put it here. You can see that better, right? And then the main orange that I made earlier, I'll pick that up and bring it here, so you can see the difference in value. This is darker, and then this is a little bit lighter. And then what I'll do is I'll pick this up again, and I'll add more yellow to that. I just put it back into the puddle. So you're still, I'm lightening this now a little bit more, less from the dark, just lighter, so more, I'm just increasing the color a little bit more here. It's always nice to go from a mothership. And then so you have three colors, all coming from the orange mix that we had. So it's just a difference in increasing the value by adding more yellow. I'd like to have some yellow ochre, so I'm bringing in some yellow ochre. I'll put it back in the batch so that it's going to get some of the orange. You know, it's sort of like it's just color harmony that way. So I put it back into the the mix here. So it's gonna pick up some of the orange that we had. So I always like to try and integrate the color. So this is yellow ochre, but I mixed it in this batch, so it's picking up some of the orange. It's kind of nice. So another way is because the majority of the painting had purple. You can even bring in some of the purple, but we'll wait. This is good now. Wait for you, and then we're gonna play with all these colors and bring it where we think it should go. We may need to make more. So for acrylic painters, you can add some gel to each of this batch, equal amount if you like, so it's thicker. For oil painters, you'll just have to make more, or you can add some gel. It's thick, so I wouldn't go with the liquid, but rather a heavier body one, like the gel, if you have a gel. If not, you can just go pure color. Let's just add a little bit more gel here. For acrylic painters, we can do that. And just add a little bit more so that you can save on paint without altering too much. I'm not gonna add too much, and I know I'm gonna run out. Acrylic painters, once you put this in, it won't dry too soon too. Let me add the gel. Okay, once you get that mix, you have enough to go by, and you can just play with that. You still have some of the greens here, you can add that later on, and you still have your blacks, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm just starting with the darker oranges, and I'll just put them up here, and just, you can lay it on top of some of the greens. And or it can just sit on its own. I don't know where. Just play. Just play. Just put it where you think it needs it. Can go all the way to the very end, actually. Maybe a little more intense there. Can add a little bit of the cadmium red to the side here. I'll put it in here. So just put the cadmium red where we mixed all our batch. Just there, just by itself. Sometimes you might want to just darken some areas, so you can add that to your dark orange. Again, don't be so attached to it. So this is just the beginning stage. Okay, so we'll just play with the oranges right now. So still with the dark orange. And just layer it on top of some of the greens, or it can stay on its own. Big batch. We can stay here for a while. I'll just paint that. You can have big strokes. You don't have to go too small. You can go smaller later. go there. So this is still the dark orange. And try to hold your brush again very loosely. Try not to hold it too much like a pencil. It's quite meditative actually. So you can go bigger strokes, especially down here. You can maybe about an inch or so. Doesn't have to be teeny tiny yet. Go. That's really red here. I just wanted to make it a little bit darker in here. So darker. I got the cadmium red plus the mid-tone. Just make it a little bit more intense. And then we're gonna put the water around that, right? Unless you already put your water in, which is kind of not my style. So this is just fun. It sort of frees your mind from doing traditional painting. Okay, I'm not gonna clean my brush, but I'm going lighter now. So I'm gonna go into the lighter colors and just put it where you feel it needs to go. So what you could do is you could start again from the top if you like. So oil painters, you just layer thicker. So you go in fat to lean, and the thicker you put down, then you won't manipulate what is underneath. So you have to go light touch, very light touch, and then more paint so it will adhere. Acrylic painters don't have to worry about that because by this time it's already dry. And yeah. So let's go mid-tone now. Mid-tone. Next color. So as you go down here, guys, as you go down into the little baby maples that are starting, you can either shift to a smaller brush, or you can just tap in smaller strokes. So you can, I'll demo that. Okay, I'm just gonna go in with a lighter color. So let's say in here, you just need to tap with smaller strokes. So you can give that illusion of smaller leaves. Always nice to go on top of the red, so you can see the lighter oranges pop on top of the red, or the reddish orange. Right? So this is a giant reddish orange area here. You can now bring in some of the smaller leaves. The yellow will just pop on top of the red, and the red will just give you that background you need. So if you went in right away with the lighter color, it's gonna be so weak. You have to have some weight behind to carry it. So I'm still using the same brush, just using the tip. And again, this is not the end of the story, right? This is just the beginning, the beginning. I can stay here for a while, actually. This is where I can put on some music. So thick impasto application, and it's not the end of the story, because we're probably gonna go back and highlight a little bit more later on. But you kind of get the idea now. So I'm gonna go in with some of the lighter oranges on top of the greens that we put in earlier. Oil painters, they're gonna blend, they're gonna mix, so that's great, because then you're gonna have a lighter green immediately. Without even wanting to put that in yet. Okay. Down in here, or up around this area here, guys, you can integrate some of the yellow ochres in there. You can put in some yellow ochres down here into the foreground. You can do that. Can put some yellow ochres in here. And just some yellow ochres just in areas. just a just how do you call this? Just lay it on in there. It's just yellow ochre with a thick just so there's some variety. This is just yellow ochre right now. It's a different kind of yellow. It's a warm yellow. I just added some yellow ochre up here. I'm all over the place, so this is okay. Just go where you think you need it. Bringing some yellow ochres down here. How are we doing there, Owen? Are we managing?
I cannot complain. I'm just a little nervous about the sky and the water, having to put it in the background.
Yeah.
But I trust you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Marissa, have you done the lightest yellow yet? Or orange, I should say?
No.
No, okay, yeah, all right.
I went mid-tone, and then I went to the yellow ochre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, so that's still mid-tone in here. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Okay, so now let's go to the light orange. Light orange can come into play here, 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 anywhere where you. I changed the whole I moved this tree there, right? So this lighter orange, so I'm just trying not to get too confused. It can get confusing, right? But that's okay. That's what it is in the forest. It's all over. Everything is all over here. Let's just put that here, here, here. It's like, oh, ADD. In a good way. In a good way. Managed by paint and a positive attitude.
Positive. Oh, that's funny.
Who's that?
It's probably Mary.
Is that Mary? It's Mary. I'm gonna edit that in my replays. It's all for you to hear, just between us. Just between us. Yeah. Okay, so I'm working on the light orange, and I'm just putting it in areas where I think it could shine. So look all over areas, add it on top of a darker orange. It'll show through. It'll pop. will pop. And let's just do that. Just have to trust me. Just have to trust me. And you're like, I know all of you do. Even Owen. Owen trusts me. And Julia. Right, Julia?
At times reluctantly.
I know. It's like, why is she doing that now? Why? Why couldn't we do that later on? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's just go back and all right, just touching here and everywhere. That one belongs to that one actually. I want to go back into some of the greens again. So acrylic painters, you have to clean your brush every now and then because it dries on your brush. For oil painters, just wipe your brush if you're gonna switch back to the green. I wanna bring in some of the green again. I'm gonna mix the green with some yellow. I just put some yellow here. So just showing you my palette. Just go to the palette here, okay? So I have cadmium yellow here. This is still the green we made earlier from the black. So I'm just gonna split a little bit of that. Just get a not a handful. Get a little bit of that, and then let's mix it with the yellow just to lighten it up. And then at least we have that lighter color. Yeah, so that's a lighter color. We'll integrate that. Maybe we'll add a little bit of the cadmium red onto that lighter color, just a little bit, just so that we can integrate, just a little, allow some color harmony and make it really fall. So just a little bit of the red mixed into that lighter green. It's there, not noticeable, but it's integrated. They're together. They are together. Alright, let's do this. I'm still using the same brush. I'm still using the 1/2 brush angle. You can change, guys. You know when you need to change your brush if you want to get into some more detail. Just going back into every area with that color. Either that lighter green color with a little bit of the red integrated. Just gonna put that in areas where it can shine. It's gonna shine. It's gonna pop through. It's gonna go on top of the dark green already there. It's gonna go on top of the oranges. Oil painters, you have to just keep going thick and just don't manipulate too much what's underneath. Just apply, leave it alone, no blending, just go thick. If you want to use a knife you can do that too. Same with acrylic painters. You could use a knife. It'll help you from not blending, and then you can apply it thick. I'm still using a brush. Just it's still working for me. And what I'd like you to focus on is like maybe imagine that greenery comes from a branch going down, something like that. So just imagine that there's a branch going down and it's just following it. You can't see the branch because there's lots of foliage, but just imagine. Yeah. Not bad at all, right? Not bad at all. How are we doing over there? Everybody's into the zone. Jen, you in the zone?
I'm laughing at how disgustingly blobby this looks, and all the colors are mixing, and it looks like crap. But I'm not judging. I'm just gonna go with it anyway. Oh, Marissa.
I know the feeling.
Like I'm like, what the heck? It just looks like. I'm just trusting that you're gonna make it look big. Help us make it look beautiful.
Is it getting all?
I find like my colors, your colors look like they just go right on it. Mine seem like you can still see through them.
Ah, okay. So it's very transparent, is it?
Yes.
Okay, okay. If you want, you can add more paint to your mixture.
Okay.
And
is that what it is? I put in too much gel?
Maybe you put too much gel.
Ah, thank you. Okay.
So just add more paint to that mixture, and it should be.
I think I'm gonna let it dry a little bit first. Maybe I'll put you on mute and I'll go get my hair dryer.
Sure. Yeah, that could be an option. So guys, also try to change up your strokes. So let's say you're doing something, just they can't all be going that way, you know what I mean? So I would like you to try and move your brush to go the other way, so you can go with the right to left, left to right, you know, just so that it straight down, so that there's all different variations of your foliage. Now all the leaves aren't going all this way. It goes that way, goes up side, goes a little bit on that side. Down here, let's say, you know, there's more leaves down here. So let's say I'm just gonna do a little demo here with black. I'll just, if you look at where I'm painting, or maybe here, down here, so you can go like that, right? So it goes there, and then oops, it goes there, and then it goes there. So it's not just all going this way, right? You want to change it up. So try to go here, here, there, there, there. All comes from the same, comes from a branch, but spreads out. I'm just going in here with some black because I'm emptying out my brush. It needs it there anyway. Okay, let's do that again. Let's keep going with the greens. So the demo I just did, I'm doing with the greens right now. Down here. So you can go with strokes that go to the left, left, right to left, and then left to right. So we have different patterns. Let's add some green up here. And there. I want to brighten that green a little bit more, so I'm gonna add some yellow. Make another batch here. What I just did is I added more yellow. Added more yellow in here. Still got a little bit of the green, but this is a lighter yellow green now. Yeah, lighter yellow green. There. A little touch on maybe a light orange in there, just so it can integrate some color harmony in there. Let's play with that. This is a lighter yellow green. I'm picking up my paint really, and it's very, very thick. Right? It's very thick. It's all giantly sticky. So that's kind of very Van Gogh-like. He painted really, really thick. But we're just going half Van Gogh. Not too much. Okay, so this is a lighter green. I'm gonna go back up again. Can you see how it changed a little bit? On top of greens that are darker. Touching only, not manipulating too much. You don't want to grab paint that's wet underneath. Oof, wow, that's really thick. I'm gonna just show that. Putting it in places where you think you might want to show some of that lighter green. Not the end of the story here yet, okay? Not the end.
Marissa, the coniferous branches that are coming from the right side, will we be adding those later or ignoring those?
We'll be adding them, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah. You're ready for that? You want to get out of all this dabbing?
I was just curious.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we're going to do that for sure. That's totally different green. I'm going to have some fun with that for sure. Just want to use up all this yellow greens that we've made very nicely. That's Jan, right? Okay. Julia, you managing okay, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I am. I must admit, I don't have my glasses on, but I can see perfectly well with my left eye.
Yeah.
But my right eye is blurry.
It's blurry.
So it's a little tricky, but I'm managing.
Yeah, you can compensate for now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can.
Marissa, can you remind me where everybody's from?
Oh. Well, maybe everybody can give their location from.
I'm from Whitby, Ontario.
Okay.
This is Owen.
And this is Julia, and I'm from Whitby, Ontario.
This is Marion, and I'm from Oshawa.
This is Linda. I'm from Trent Lakes.
Nice.
This is Mary. I'm from Coburg.
I'm Jenny in Bowmanville.
Bowmanville, baby.
I'm Shirley. I'm Collingwood area.
Collingwood.
Oh, yeah.
And Valerie from Calgary,
Yay.
Alberta.
No, no.
And Barb, I'm from just north of Bowmanville, in a little village called Hayden.
Oh, Hayden.
And I'm Sue Ann. I'm the American. Apparently. Coming from Florida. I'm so far away from everybody.
The American. That's so funny.
Yikes. That's a little scary to say these days. Man.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Alita from Bowmanville as well.
Bowmanville. Did we get everyone? Jeanette, yes.
Kitchener, Ontario.
Oh, Kitchener.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Nice, huh? It's a good variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a geography teacher. I need to know these location factors.
Ah. All right. I'm just gonna touch this here. Oops. Okay. That big branch go that way. Okay, so let's maybe I can get out of this greenery for now. I still like to show my my wash, so I'm not really painting it out. Okay. Okay, so let us we can do the fir tree here. So just goes down this way, right? It sort of crisscrosses through that birch. And just bring it all the way there. Goes there. Let's go. There's one more in here. So I'm just prepping to put in this coniferous tree branch. So they are, they don't change in color. So they are remaining green. Let's just put one more in here. So what you could do with the black, oh, this is gonna be hard for the oil painters. Okay, so let's make our green. It's gotta be a cooler green. So I would either go in with cadmium red, a cadmium yellow, and ultramarine blue, or you can use cobalt blue if you like. I don't know if that was in my supply list, but I'm just gonna use ultramarine blue, more blue than the yellow. So I'm just gonna bring back to my palette here. So ultramarine blue and cadmium yellow mix. Just gonna bring that together here. So for the acrylic painters, you can probably drop, although you do have some gel, right? You could drop retarder on some of your paint so it doesn't dry. So this is a yellow and a green, yellow and a blue mix. It's going to be very, it's going to be in the dark value here. If I put that here, I don't know if you'll see it better. That's dark. So it looks black on my screen, but it is a dark green. So make a dark green, cool temperature. More blue than the yellow. So once we do that, we can put that down here, and then we can break for 5 minutes. Once we just lay it down, Sally. Do you know that song?
No, I don't know that.
Lay Down, Sally?
No.
Oh, come on.
We
That's
know
a great-
that song.
I
Who sang?
think J.J. Cale wrote that song.
Did he?
But Eric Clapton made it
Yes.
famous.
Lay
Oh,
down,
oh,
Sally,
okay.
resting in my soul. Something like that. I just need someone to talk to. Something like that. So here, let me just that's gonna be edited out. It's only between you and me. So we got this branch coming down, yeah? So in terms of that's it, Linda. It's in my head now. Suan's dancing. Okay, that's the break we need. We need to dance.
Sorry, had to do it.
Okay, so we got big branch, yes? And then you can go and just bring it down this way. So in terms of like strokes, it's downward strokes. It's the downward dog stroke. It's in my head now because of you. No, it's really because of me, because I started it.
Marissa, could you point to the canvas which branch you're talking about on your canvas? Or are we making a new one? I don't understand.
I'm just showing you the strokes here.
Oh, okay.
So this is paper. And I'm just
No,
using
I
a
know that.
marker.
Yeah.
I'm just using a marker here, just to give you an idea how we're gonna draw in this coniferous.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Just like that. That's just how I would do it. You can be more detailed than I am, but stroke is just going down, 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 and then it sort of tapers off at the edge. Could go that way too, right? So depending on the branch, it could go this way and then extends out to another twig, and then the leaves just fall that way. It's good.
It's good. Would it be easier with a knife than the brush?
Well, you can try, right? So if you're going with the knife, you can try and apply it this way.
Yeah.
Right? And then so you can just maybe do that. Can you see?
Yeah.
Maybe. You can just bring this down that way. You can do that. If you want to try with a knife, you'll have to go in like that. Just tap it in and let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. So you can practice. Just load your knife on one side. Just one side. Press down. Lift up. And maybe that could just be already an indication of all the leaves. So you can try that, see if you like to do that, if you don't want to do it with a brush. But if you're doing it with a brush strokes are just going down. Or you could do the combination of both. Maybe you go in with the brush first, and then when it dries, you could go in with the knife after, just for texture. So there's many options. Okay,
So, Marisa, can I just ask a question?
yeah.
Those particular leaves will go over a section that I haven't painted yet, which is the water. So, would you recommend that I look after doing the water first and then put those leaves in later?
There's no water there.
Well, in my painting there is.
Oh, oh, in your painting there is? Okay.
In my painting too.
Well,
just because they're very fine, and I can't imagine trying to paint around those types of branches and leaves. Well, not leaves, fronds, whatever they're called.
yeah. Well,
I think I'm going to make my own decision, and I think I will leave them and add them in after I put the water.
I'm with you.
all right. Okay. Fine. Do what you want. Get on.
Oh, such a rebel.
It's okay. For me, I am putting them in now. So if you want to wait, then you can wait. I cannot control you, darling. Cannot. But you are the creator of your piece. But I mean, like you're following what I'm doing, right? So that's what's important. It's just another way of painting.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I want to add a little bit more This is the dark green. Dark green and I'm gonna stop here and do a quick break after I put this in.
Are you just doing like dab, dab, dab? Or
Yeah.
Are you trying to get the needles on those branches? I don't understand. I thought you were doing needles like on a pine tree.
Yeah, I am doing the needles, but my stroke is like this, just down, down, down. Right?
Oh,
So
because I don't think my brush is going to be fine enough to do that. I think it's going to look like a blob. And that's exactly what I've done. I've blobbed it here. Maybe I have to use a small flat one.
Flat?
I don't know.
You could use a flat, so you can use a flat like this, right? Can everybody see the screen? And just use the tip. If you want, just use the tip so you can make that line.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Okay.
Just make that line.
All right.
I am actually going thick, so I'm going like this, right? I'm going thick like that, because then I can break it up with a lighter color after. That's where I intend to go. Did you see that? So right now it's just all dark, and you can see it on the screen. It's just all dark blobs, and the action of the brush is just going down, and then I will break that up with a lighter color after.
Okay.
It's in my head. Lay down, Sally. It's in my head.
Uh-oh.
So, have to Google Eric Clapton later.
Palette knife is very successful.
Ooh, who's that? Alida?
Yeah.
Alida?
Barb.
Barb?
Yeah.
You like the palette knife better?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, yeah, it's a good time to experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when we go on a break, you can continue painting. I have to go. I just want to check in on my dad, so I'll go take a break, and you can clean your water, grab a coffee. Acrylic painters, once you come back, this will be a little bit drier. Oil painters will just hang on and just continue building, and we'll reconvene at just give it about 7 minutes, okay?
Okay.
So if you want, you can just take a break. You can play your Lay Down Sally if you want. That'll be the theme song for the day. Won't you help me, please? So I'm just trying to add a little bit of a lighter green towards my, you know, this coniferous trees, kind of, sorta. I'm just adding a little bit of, let's see, I don't like that. I'm going to combine the yellow green to the dark green. So I didn't like this one, so I'm just gonna go back in and just, I used a knife for that, so you can do that too if you like, just to go like with one motion. You can kick in those coniferous branches here. That works. I'm just gonna go back into my brush. So I'm gonna go back into my brush. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go in and just touch areas in here. I like that. I like the effect of the knife, but I'm not ready for it yet, so I went back to the brush. So if you can see, it's just lightening some areas, keeping some areas dark, lightening a few
Hey, so what brush do you use to put in the fine branches?
I'm still using the same
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm still using the same branch from earlier, which is 1/2.
Okay, I've got it in my hand now.
Got it in your hand. Let's do it. Yeah. I didn't change it too much. Like, that's okay looking back, so I wanna just darken a little bit in here. Just editing, adding, deleting. I lost some shadow down here, so I added a little bit more of dark green, and then I went on top of it with the yellow green. So I just lost my shadow. Down here there's greens, but it's in shadow, so I just wanted to add that. Anyway, that's okay. We'll move on. Move on. Anyone looking at my screen on a big TV? I had a class last year. She was projecting the Zoom on her big TV.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I have you projecting onto it's not a huge TV, but it is a different monitor. So yeah, you are bigger.
I'm bigger, so you can see all, you can see all the brush strokes, huh?
Kind of.
Okay, let's see here. Let's bring in some grays. Let's just experiment. I just want to touch a little bit on this these two trees. Grab some. Don't know how this is gonna go. Don't know how that's gonna go. We'll see here. I am playing. I hope you think that painting is about experimentation, right? It's okay. I was just looking at colors and just wanted to brighten this big tree here, but I didn't want to go too much, so I'm experimenting with the black and Titan buff, or a little bit of. So don't make your mixes yet. And for oil, Titan buff is an unbleached white, and depending on your oil, some manufacturers do not make that, so you'll have to make it with yellow ochre, white and black. That's okay. So I mixed a little bit of yellow ochre. Okay, I'll show you my palette here. I mixed a little yellow ochre with a little bit of the black, and I came out with something like this, sort of like a greeny browny something. And then I put some black here and I mixed it with Titan buff, and I get this sort of gray. If you don't have Titan buff, you can make a gray and add a little bit of yellow ochre to it, just a tiny bit. Or you can use raw sienna with a little bit of the black, add a little bit of gray. I just want some browns in the birch tree here. Just that's why I'm trying to incorporate some yellow ochre. Burnt sienna is another thing too. Well, burnt sienna and a little bit of the gray.
Sorry, I had to leave for a moment. Could you tell me what that light gray is made from?
This is black with Titan buff.
Titan buff, I have it. Thank you.
Yep. So I added some black to my burnt sienna just to give it some dark. And I don't know if I'm even going to use that. We'll see. We'll see. And I'll add a little bit of white to this. Titanium white.
Where will you be using that, Marisa?
The tree. The birch tree.
Oh, the birch trees.
Yeah. So, do you want me to write that down? I don't know what I'm going to use here. I'm playing. That birch tree in the middle here, the big one, has many colors, right? It's got some white, some browns, some grays, some blacks. So I wanted to have some variety of colors to play with. So I'm just gonna write this down so you can have it So with the black, I combined it with Titan buff, sort of like a gray, and then black plus burnt sienna mix. So that's gonna be like a brown. It's gonna be like a black brown. And then what else did I do? Oh, I did the black plus yellow ochre. Plus Titan buff. Made some sort of a mess there, because this too will make some sort of like a greeny something. It's like greeny poo. Looks like poo. But if you don't have Titan buff, you can make that. Titan buff. You can make that with maybe a yellow ochre or raw sienna plus titanium white, something like that. You'll have to just play, but really and truly you can't go wrong with this birch tree. If you want to keep it gray, it's really totally up to you. I just want to incorporate as much colors as what I see. It's not just gray by itself, gray and black. There's so many, and I want to show some of the purples that we put in earlier. So I'm still gonna use same brush. I'm still gonna use my 1/2 brush. I haven't deviated from that, so I'll just play with any of these colors, bringing it in, and I just want to give it another go, another layer of color. Titan buff is beautiful, and it's not so in your face like titanium white. Application is thicker. Application is left to right, right to left. You can combine colors. So I'm just gonna play now, okay? So I'm just gonna go. I'm mixing some of the gray with burnt siennas, going back and forth. I just added this part here. You can see it's starting to lighten up. I'm applying it on a horizontal dry brush technique, no medium, a little bit thicker. Oil painters, you'll go thicker, go home. And if you go too light, it's okay, you can bring in the dark again. Right? So if you want, you could go back into the black and bring back a little bit of the black in areas, and then go back into a gray and just approach it. And just lighten some areas. Okay. I like this brownie color, so I kind of like to show that. Okay, just lighten some areas in here. Once we get down here, it'll be a little bit darker. So you can bring in some of the blacks with the maybe the yellow ochre mix. Black. Ooh, too thick, too thick, too thick, too thick. I'm also gonna touch this other tree here. Going in with a lighter color. This is the burnt sienna black, a little bit of gray. Just going across. Just to lighten. I'd also go in with, you know, some strokes going down too in areas. Go thick. Can add some. I just went in with the black and Titan buff. Just add a little bit more. So I'm not even doing this with a palette knife. I'm just strictly brush right now. Let's go with that other color there. Don't be so attached to it, guys, because it's gonna change again. I'm gonna stop there. Just gonna stop there for now. It's not the end of the story. It can still be. What is that? We don't know. It's that. Just bringing in some of this orange color in here. Just went back to the oranges in here. If you're wondering what she's doing, she's adding some oranges there. Adding some oranges down here. There. Gee, what time is it now? Almost 12. Okay. I think we should do some of the sky now. What do you think we should do? I don't think we can do this. We can do this sky. Can block in some sky now, so some of you would be happy. Some of you would be happy. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, Valerie. Yeah, you have to take pictures, right? I didn't even send you guys pictures of my process. What?
Yeah, I thought I would get a few pictures in because I think I have to keep going backwards and then seeing where you're at.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, always take pictures. It's good. It's good to see the process, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't want to put the sky yet. I know Owen's just, and Julia just, oh, maybe most of you.
Oh, you're funny.
You're probably gonna go, no, put the sky in now. I want it in. I know.
Yes, I'm a sky in first person.
I know.
You stretch my boundaries.
I know, I do. I know.
It's good for me.
It's good for you. It's good.
I enjoyed it last spring when we did it with that Algonquin picture. I finally, when I went back and did it twice, I kind of got it. It was fun, but this is going to be hard with all these leaves.
Oh, it's never hard. It's never hard. It's just a process. Trust me. No, we can't make it work. Start to cry. Yellow ochre. Is just no, she's not doing that. She can't do that now.
Okay, we're not doing the sky then.
Nope.
I guess not. Doesn't look like my sky.
No, I went into yellow ochre, guys, so I'm going to do some leaves here. I know. So, yellow ochre maybe with a little bit of burnt sienna. How's that? Yellow ochre with a little burnt sienna together. More yellow ochre than the burnt sienna. Okay. More yellow ochre than the burnt sienna. I mixed with my brush, which you shouldn't do. So I'll write it down here. So yellow ochre plus burnt sienna. We get some sort of like a browny yellow. And I'm just gonna go into this big area here. And just indicate leaves. Brush stroke is just big downward stroke. Nothing too complicated. You don't have to make the illusion of leaves unless you want to. So applications just like that. Unless you want to really make a leaf like that, then you're welcome to do that. It is your painting. So just group them in clumps. They all are one big happy family. So, and then we can just add the branches later. So this is for oil painters. You'll have to, when we do the sky, you can wait until this is a little tacky. Edge here, just a little bit higher. I know it's gonna be. It's the stretch, right?
I can't get you back on my screen, Risa.
Sorry?
I can't get you back on my screen. I'm just seeing. I'm not sure who she is, but I can't see you.
So, click on.
There we are.
Yeah,
See,
click. Yeah.
Yeah.
You found me?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. This one here is a big, and in here, something here. Okay, I'm running out of paint. Okay. It's gonna take time, a whole lot of precious time. It's gonna take that's a song in my head again, and it's something like I got my eyes set on you, or something like that. To do it, 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 to do it right now. Do you know that song? I got my eyes set on you. Okay, now we can do the sky. Isn't that fun? It's so much fun. And then if you touch the tree, it's okay. Just makes it a little bit more painterly. There's hardly anything there. I'm just going in a little bit in here with greens. Okay, let's go in with the sky. What color? So fall is when I do the sky in the fall, I usually use cerulean blue. It's a nice warm blue. Cerulean blue. I want to have some. So I just changed my palette, and I just put cerulean blue here, just very little. And then I want to bring my black here, so I'm just gonna grab the black that we made earlier, just there. And then I bring in some titanium white, a little titanium white here. Let's just bring it now, and we'll do this really fast. I want to have a little bit of the white with the cerulean blue. Mix the two together. Cerulean blue is a nice warm blue. It's the warmest of all the blues because every blue is cool. So more of the lighter blue. Can you see now? We got that there. Mix it nice. And then with that, add a touch of black, just a little bit. Sort of like just a dot. Mix that into that mixture with the cerulean blue. So some of the black is mixed in. Get a little bit of that black. And mix in with the white. I'm gonna get a gray. I'm making a lighter gray here, not too much in the medium. Got that lighter gray. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of that cerulean blue mix into that gray. All one big happy family. Now, just gonna put some dioxazine purple. Don't forget about the dioxazine purple. Just wanted to have a little bit of that there. Just have a little white here. Let's bring in some black. Make this another gray. This time I'm adding a little bit of the purple in here into this gray mix. It's got some purple going on. You'll see a subtle change Just a little subtle change. Then you've got your white here, your black here, cerulean blue, white gray mix. You've got your gray with a little bit of cerulean blue. So they're all one happy family. And then I just left the pure white here. Maybe I should get some cerulean blue just hanging out a little bit in here, just so you have some pure colors by itself. And I'll wait for you. And we can go in and do that, and for maybe 15 minutes, do the sky and the lake quickly. I got my mind set on you. Next time, Jen, I'll bring my ukulele. We can just have a little ukulele singing along here.
Do you want us to start painting? Or are we waiting?
Are you ready to go? If you're ready to go, you could go. Okay. The only thing that I'd like to tell you is that over here would be your brightest down to the horizon line, right? So
can you show us your painting, Marissa?
Yeah, hang on. So make sure you've got the clean brush, right? If you want to change your brush, you could do that too. Okay. All right, so I need to get some nice rosemary brushes. Okay. Just gonna clean my brush a little bit here. So the lighter colors here. So maybe we'll get your blue. Maybe the white. So I went in with the titanium white by itself. Titanium white by itself. I put my brush into the titanium white first, and then I'll go into the blue mix. And then I'll just go in here. So let's pretend that the trees are there. So we'll go and give it some.
So the lightest area is just over the trees then?
Yes. Closer to the distant trees. So that's white. I went in with titanium white, and then I went into the blue mix that we did, right? So we'll just do that here. And that is just in here. So my brush has a little bit of the white first, and then I bring in the cerulean blue. I'm thinking. That's it. So that is, my brush had white, titanium white, plus the cerulean blue. So the two of them are together in the brush, and I'll just put it right there. And then once it's down, you can now go up. Actually, you can go up with cerulean blue white mix. You'll see a subtle change. And the reason of doing this is because we're not blending, right? We're just layering. You're touching your trees or leaves. That's okay. I want to add a little bit of blue. When I get up here, I want to have a little bit more of the blue in there. So a little bit of the blue. So I just went a little bit stronger with the cerulean blue. I don't know if it's showing in the camera because I didn't get a chance to get a warm light. So application of brush strokes is just again a dab. And it doesn't have to follow just going line, 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 line. You could go crisscross, you could go horizontal, you could go slanted, you could go vertical, just to add some texture, variety. It's fun going around all these things. Don't you agree? No, they say no. Okay, and then you can go into some purples and grays. The sky is not just one color, right? So you can bring in some other color in between. So you get the gray blue in there. Go around some of the leaves. Just makes it more organic that way. Just find it's just nicer, just alive, you know what I mean? It's and I can add just, this has more purple to it. Yeah, just enjoy that. Enjoy the moment. So if you're adding, you can even go in and add more purple if you feel like you want it darker. Darker should be higher up and then lighter's down here, right? So just go around all those leaves. And as you go down, make sure you're using the yellow, the blue, cerulean blue mix. Purple gray mix, you can add more purple to it. especially beside the yellow. We're gonna add some more highlights here eventually. So a little purple beside where the yellow will be will just create so much beauty because they're complementary colors. And then the blue also will show up on top of the quinacridone magenta wash, which again, it'll just make everything and then blue and green. Oh, sorry. The blue and the orange here. I'll just make each other sing. All complementary colors together. Oh, this is what we call sky holes, going in between areas. So the sky is peeking through all the trees and foliage. Just nice. I want to have some blues there because blue and oranges are complementary. So I like to have some openings that have the two of them side by side. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's starting to brighten up. Yeah, we can do that down here. We can do that. So on the lower part, I would go in with the purple gray. Go in with the purple gray in here, just quickly. Purple gray. Not purple rain.
That's on the water, right?
Yep.
Okay.
This is water.
Sorry, could you repeat the water?
The water is purple gray. The purple gray. Say that twice.
Purple grey.
And I'm just gonna add dioxazine purple with just a little bit more, just the first go, so dioxazine purple with the gray. Just want to deepen this area here so you can go and apply that across. That's not the end of the story, okay? That's just the first go. You can also go in with a blue-gray. And then you'll have to go in here. Just rough it in. So these are now what you call water holes. Water peeking through our foliage. You won't be able to eliminate too much of the background, which is great because you want to have that spark of magic. I want you to show a little bit of the wash. They all harmonize with one another. So the line of the water goes down this way too, right? If you look at your image, there's the line of where the sky would appear. So it sort of goes down all the way to maybe here. So that's where you can put your water line there, and then here. And then we have to put in some other colors. So, but I think for today, this will be where we'll end. And then we'll continue next week. The summer is magic. I don't know why that's in my head, but it's in my head. Okay, what? It's looking good. It's looking good. You have to say it's looking good. Jen, are you still there?
I'm still here. I'm not looking. It's not looking good.
It's looking good, Jen.
Sure. It's not about the product, it's the process.
It's the process. Is it looking good there, Victor?
It's looking great.
Victor? Are you
Yes.
Are you sure?
Oh yes, very sure.
Okay, are you doing it in this style, Victor?
Pretty close to the style.
Very close?
That's
Okay.
an excellent style.
What a diplomat.
All right, Victor. I trust you.
Thank you.
All right. It's looking good. So, this one here, it looks like a big ball of fire. Don't worry about that because we're not gonna keep it that. I was just following where my chalk line is. but we'll extend out and we'll brighten in here. And we'll brighten in there, and then we'll do all this. But this is coming along nice, and we'll leave it at that. And assignment. What could assignment be? Get it to the point.
Finish the trees.
Finish the trees?
Good.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. So maybe that could be assignment, is finishing all these trees here in the front and making it, you know, up to a point where you like it. You can go back into the branches again, which I'm sort of doing, and bring in more foliage if you like. Bring in more branches, because there's a lot of back and forth in here. So you could do that. That could be assignment. Okay. Assignment is